Chapter 24. 3 days later, on the 11th day AG, Gus's father called me in the morning. I was still hooked to the BiPAP, so I didn't answer. But I listened to his message the moment it beeped through to my phone. Hazel, hi, it's Gus's dad. I found a black moleskin notebook in the magazine rack that was near his hospital bed. I think near enough that he could have reached it. Unfortunately, there's no writing in the notebook. All the pages are blank. But the first, I think three or four, the first few pages are torn out of the notebook. We looked through the house but couldn't find the pages. So I don't know what to make of that. But maybe those pages are what Isaac was referring to. Anyway, I hope that you are doing okay. You're in our prayers every day, Hazel. Okay, bye. 3 or 4 pages ripped from a moleskin notebook no longer in Augustus Waters' house. Where would he leave them for me? Taped to Funky Bones? No, he wasn't well enough to get there. The Little Heart of Jesus. Maybe he left it there for me on his last good day. So I left 20 minutes early for a support group the next day. I drove over to Isaac's house, picked him up, and then we drove down to the Little Heart of Jesus with the windows of the minivan down, listening to the Hectic Low's leaked new album, which Gus would never hear. We took the elevator. I walked Isaac to a seat in the circle of trust, then slowly worked my way around the Little Heart. I checked everywhere, under the chairs, around the lectern I stood behind while delivering my eulogy, under the tree table, on the bulletin board packed with Sunday school kids' drawings of God's love. Nothing. It was the only place we'd been together in those last days beside his house. And it either wasn't here or I was missing something. Perhaps he'd left it for me in the hospital. But if so, it had almost certainly been thrown away after his death. I was really out of breath by the time I settled in a chair next to Isaac, and I devoted the entirety of Patrick's nutless testimonial to telling my lungs they are okay, that they could breathe, that there was enough oxygen. They'd been drained only a week before Gus died. I watched the amber cancer water drip out of me through the tube, and yet already they felt full again. I was so focused on telling myself to breathe that I didn't notice Patrick saying my name at first. I snapped to attention. Yeah? I asked. How are you? I'm okay, Patrick. I'm a little out of breath. Would you like to share a memory of Augustus with the group? I wish I would just die. Patrick, do you ever wish you'd just die? Yes, Patrick said, without his usual pause. Yes, of course. So why don't you? I thought about it. My old stock answer was that I wanted to stay alive for my parents, because they would be all gutted and childless in the wake of me. And that was still true kind of, but that wasn't it, exactly. I don't know. In the hopes that you'll get better? No, I said. No, it's not that. I really don't know. Isaac? I asked. I was tired of talking. Isaac started talking about true love. I couldn't tell them what I was thinking because it seemed cheesy to me. But I was thinking about the universe wanting to be noticed, and how I had to notice it as best I could. I felt that I owed a debt to the universe that only my attention could repay. And also that I owed a debt to everybody who didn't get to be a person anymore, and everyone who hadn't gotten to be a person yet. What my dad had told me, basically. I stayed quiet for the rest of support group, and Patrick said a special prayer for me, and Gus's name was tacked onto the long list of the dead. 14 of them for every one of us, and we promised to live our best life today. And then I took Isaac to the car. When I got home, Mom and Dad were at the dining room table on their separate laptops. And the moment I walked in the door, Mom slammed her laptop shut. What's on the computer? Just some antioxidant recipes. Ready for biped in America's Next Top Model? She asked. I'm just going to lie down for a minute. Are you okay? Yeah, just tired. Well, you've gotta eat before you. Mom, I am aggressively unhungry. I took a step toward the door, but she cut me off. Hazel, you have to eat. Just some cheese. No, I'm going to bed. No, Mom said. You're not. I glanced at my dad, who shrugged. It's my life. You're not gonna starve yourself to death just because Augustus died. You're gonna eat dinner. I was really pissed off for some reason. I can't eat, Mom. I can't, okay? I tried to push past her, but she grabbed both my shoulders and said, Hazel, you're eating dinner. You need to stay healthy. No, I shouted. I'm not eating dinner, and I can't stay healthy because I'm not healthy. I am dying, Mom. I'm gonna die and leave you here alone. And you won't have a me to hover around and you won't be a mother anymore. And I'm sorry, but I can't do anything about it, okay? I regretted it as soon as I said it. You heard me. What? Did you hear me say that to your father? Her eyes welled up. Did you? I nodded. Oh God, Hazel. I'm sorry, I was wrong, sweetie. That wasn't true. I said it in a desperate moment. It's not something I believe. She sat down, and I sat down with her. I was thinking that I should have just puked up some pasta for her instead of getting pissed off. What do you believe then? I asked. As long as either of us is alive, I'll be your mother. She said. Even if you die, when? I said. She nodded. Even when you die, I will still be your mother, Hazel. I will still be your mom, Hazel. I won't stop being your mom. Have you stopped loving Gus? I shook my head. Well, then how could I stop loving you? Okay, I said. My dad was crying now. I want you guys to have a life. I said. I worry that you won't have a life. That you'll sit around here all day with no me to look after and stare at the walls and one off yourselves. After a minute, Mom said, I'm taking some classes online through IU to get my master's in social work. In fact, I wasn't looking at antioxidant recipes. I was writing a paper. Seriously? I don't want you to think I'm imagining a world without you. But if I get my MSW, I can counsel families in crisis or lead groups dealing with illness in their families. Or wait, you're gonna become a patriarch? Well, not exactly. There are all kinds of social work jobs. That said, we've both been worried that you'll feel abandoned. It's important for you to know that we'll always be here for you, Hazel. Your mom isn't going anywhere. No, this is great. This is fantastic. I was really smiling. Mom is gonna become a patriarch. She'll be a great patriarch. She'll be so much better. She'll be so much better at it than Patrick is. Thank you, Hazel. That means everything to me. I nodded. I was crying. I couldn't get over how happy I was. Crying genuine tears of actual happiness for the first time in maybe forever. Imagining my mom as a patriarch. It made me think of Anna's mom. She would have been a good social worker too. After a while, we turned on the TV and watched ANTM, but I paused it after 5 seconds because I had all these questions for Mom. So, how close are you to finishing? If I go up to Bloomington for a week this summer, I should be able to finish by December. How long have you been keeping this from me exactly? A year. Mom, I didn't want to hurt you, Hazel. Amazing. So when you're waiting for me outside of MCC or support group or whatever, you're always, yes, working or reading. This is so great. If I'm dead, I want you to know I will be sighing at you from heaven every time you ask someone to share their feelings. My dad laughed. I'll be right there with you, kiddo, he assured me. Finally, we watched the ANTM. Dad tried really hard not to die of boredom, and he kept messing up which girl was which, saying, You like her? No, no, we revile, we revile Anastasia. We like Antonia, the other blonde. Mom explained. They're all tall and horrible. Dad responded. Forgive me for failing to tell the difference. Dad reached across me for Mom's hand. Do you think you guys will stay together if I die? I asked. Hazel, what? Sweetie. She fumbled for the remote control and paused the TV again. What's wrong? Just, do you think you would? Yes, of course, Dad said. Your mom and I love each other, and if we lose you, we'll go through it together. Swear to God, I said. I swear to God, he said. I looked back at Mom. Swear to God, she agreed. Why are you even worrying about this? I just don't want I just don't want to ruin your life or anything. Mom leaned forward and pressed her face into my massive puff of hair and kissed me at the very top of my head. I said to Dad, I don't want you to become like a miserable unemployed alcoholic or whatever. My mom smiled. Your father isn't Peter Van Houten, Hazel. You of all people know it is possible to live with pain. Yeah, okay, I said. Mom hugged me and I let her even though I didn't really want to be hugged. Okay, you can unpause it, I said. Anastasia got kicked off. She, th- she threw a fit. It was awesome. I ate a few bites of dinner, bow tie pasta with pesto, and managed to keep it down.